It's time for a title deciding, season defining Old Firm, and it doesn't get much bigger than this, guys. It feels like the first proper title fight in a long time. A lot of Celtic fans have called out Rangers saying just because you lost the last couple doesn't mean they weren't title fights. But to be fair, you look at last season and the season before that, Rangers did lose a lot of crucial Old Firms in those two seasons. And yeah, you know what? I would say this does feel genuinely more like a title fight, but I can understand that point of view, but let's understand this point of view because Rangers are going to lay the smack down because we got 1.2k thousand votes on this poll. 79% went with Rangers, 7% went with a draw, 14% went with Celtic. We're also going to dive into comments. We're going to look at Philip Clement's comments in the press conference alongside Connor Goldson, which shall be interesting. Who's he going to go with? If you want to see a combined 11, that was uploaded yesterday, but here is the results. So pretty much 80%, 4/5 of the voters have went with Rangers. I do genuinely think whoever wins this game will win the league, but a draw, as much as it's still in Rangers' hand, I want Rangers to win this for the simple reason as well. I want them to win it anyway, but I want to be going to Parkhead knowing a defeat doesn't actually change anything. But saying that, I think they'll bring the Old Firm forward a wee bit, and I think the Old Firm will probably be about the second match day. And then it means even if Celtic do beat Rangers, and say Rangers win this game and then beat Dundee, yada yada yada, and the gap's 5 points into the Parkhead one, that means with 3 games to go, the gap would be down to 2 points. I could see that happening. I think they'd rather do that. The Old Firm, it's not going to be the first game, it's not going to be the last game, and I don't think it'll be the second last game either. I think number 2, match day 30. 5 is going to be the kickoff for that one, but we're going to dive into Philip Clement's comments here. He says we have to use the atmosphere advantage that we're going to have, because there will be no Celtic fans, of course. Don't really want to talk about allocations here. He says you can see the mentality is strong. The manager has driven that home. It's not just in games, it is every single day in training. If you don't perform in training, you don't play, said Connor Goldson. Well, son, you must be performing in training because sometimes on the pitch you're not exactly doing that. But he talked about, it is some El Generico stuff here from Philip Clement. But what was crucial for me was, in fact, he talked about Redfan Yilmaz will potentially play. He says, Redfan, not yet sure. We will see tomorrow and make a decision. Everyone else, though, for last week's available. Sima is fit enough to start, but could not play 90 minutes. I have a decision to make on whether we will best have an impact. I would, if it's between like starting Scott Wright or starting Sima, I think you've got to start Sima. I think you have to. I don't see why you would be going the other way about. It's a massive game. Clement and Rodgers are both kind of cards close to their chest. Are saying, oh, it's not a season defining game. It's not this. Rodgers like, oh, if we lose it, it's no big deal. It is. I do think whoever wins this game will win the league. Because 5 points for Rangers, you've got to factor in the Dundee game when they win it, because I think we will win it. It's massive. Like 5 points with so little games to go is a massive gap. But if Celtic win, I think it will be a kick in the balls to Rangers. I mean, the game at Parkhead just before the new year was absolute shite. Like, I had so much confidence in Rangers winning that. But, you had time to rebuild on it. You had January transfer window. To lose 3 Old Firms in a row and then relying on going to Parkhead and getting a job done, I wouldn't have much faith. And that's, I guess, the same even implies there with a draw. But I guess it means you'd only have to draw there. So, yeah, Clement, fight and talk for him. But, again, they're saying that the game's not exactly title deciding. I think it is, but let's see what the comments say. As Rangers Metal Atheist says, please just fucking win Rangers. That's pretty much it. James says, here, mate. Bigland need to go straight through McGregor on a 50-50. He will shit himself when he hits the floor hard like last time. It looks like Cal McGregor's not actually starting, so that's good. Looks like he's not the sort of guy to make a substitute appearance, so we'll have to see how that'll go. This has to be your strategy because no one in the Sevco team even comes close when it comes to football and ability. Hail, 3-0 Celtic. Yeah, there's no one in the Rangers team, right, that comes close to football and ability. That's why we're so close, and that's why we're actually, win our game in hand. We're above Celtic. That's why. Smokey says roof will be blown off and the Tims will be blown away. 3-1. I'll take 3-1. Rangers just win. Don't care about the score. I don't care about the score. I'll take 1-0 and a dodgy penalty and tears to be flying everywhere. Stephen Reid says, win this one against them, win our game in hand, it's looking good. Absolutely. I'm afraid Celtic seem the upper hand in these games. Rangers really need to up their game to beat them. Just being honest. I agree with that. Because, I think the averages that are, you've lost 2 games in the Old Firm. Rangers last season at Ibrox got 4 points out of 6. We're better under Clement than we are. I mean, that's Beale going up against Ange, bear in mind, right? So I have all the faith in the world that Rangers can get the job done in this game. I think Clement would have learned for the Parkhead game, and I think he will get it right, regardless of what sort of. I mean, yeah, if Barisic plays right, you're going to be a bit more shiting yourself in that department. But I still think, even if Barisic played, I would still have faith that Clement would manage to ease something at this team. Stone Cody Steve Austin says, just got a feeling it's going to be a draw. Rangers never make it easy. Please not. Well, I say please not. I'd rather be a draw than a loss, obviously, but draws are always a bit dead, but a draw obviously favours us way more than a loss. Don't need to explain that. Hope Celtic batter them. For 1,000 police fans to take away the criminals for cursing. Sad state of affairs, that might happen. 3 each, belter of a match with 2 pens each, that might happen. Do it, lads. Fu Gold says, they've done a lot of talking and not much else. They really think because they've beaten us this season, that means it's a definite win for them. And I already know, and so does everyone else, that if we win, it's a conspiracy. If they win, it's because they're world beaters. The fact that Clement has won more points as he came in as Brenda is lost on these idiots. 3-1 Rangers. Dessers can't will Tab with a penalty to send them into meltdown. Who cares who scores for them? Exactly. That's all that matters. Hart says Rangers, of course, but I'm never confident with that defensive ours, always shipping stupid goals. Goldson is a disaster waiting to happen. 4-0 Rangers. And Big Phil we trust. 2-1 Celtic. Bookings everywhere. Rangers 3-1. And then Celtic get it up with how many more comments is there here? Come on Celtic. Celtic won this, I think 3-2 Celtics. There's a lot of Celtic fans in at the bottom end of the comment section. I think Celtic will nip it Cantwell, so Todd can hopefully keep his head. Fancy Seamer to score and think Big Stone will have the game of his life. That guy just seemed to fit in anywhere you put him. I'm going 2-1 Rangers. Kyogo, it's all about the Celtic. 3-2 Celtic. So there's actually quite a lot of Celtic comments here. No surprise there. But yeah, I mean, this is not the game to lose the head. I'm all for, right, putting a tackle in and snapping someone. But if I see that, I'm not going to be too happy. I mean, we cannot afford to go down to a 10 men. We've seen it at Parkhead where, I mean, if Balga didn't get sent off, he has to change the game or whatever. Well, I say change the game. I think at 2-0 down, a man down, you've pretty much got no chance, even though they only won 2-1. But at 2-0 down with 11 men, how would that game have played out? I'm not too sure. Celtic, got the 2-0 lead, and after a pretty decent first half for us, we arse went in that second half. But what's going to happen? I think we're going to win. I'm going to go 3-2. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. There's going to be VAR drama. There's going to be penalties, probably. There's probably going to be possible red cards. It's going to be mental. But, man, there's no Celtic fans in this stadium. It's 50,000 at Ibrox. Celtic have got a stronger team this time around than what they played in the previous 2 games. Defensively, we laughed. Oh, they've got Naroki and Scales, etc. Laga Bielka. It's time we just forget about referees, forget about injuries, forget about records, forget about everything else, and just put them to the fucking sword and get the 3 points, alright? I don't want to hear about referees. I don't even care, man, if John Beaton turns heel. You want to see a heel turn? I don't care if he does that and choke slams, Jack Butland through the pitch and Celtic score. I will not be making excuses for this team come Sunday if we get beat. I will not be crying the referee card because it's fucking pathetic. It's what it is. It's the same with the first 2 Old Firms this season. Yeah, things went against us. But no, went against us more. The fact we played utter fucking draws for most of both of the games. So yeah, it's time to step up and be counted for. The title is there to be grabbed, folks, right? And who's got the cojones to do it? We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going 3-2. It's going to be massive, man. Bricking it already, and it's Friday. But anyway, till then, peace.